What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Every now and then I get a comment on this channel. It's usually someone responding to one of my videos where I debunk the baby method. Now, for those who don't know, the baby method is the idea that you can learn a language just via watching TV. Like what a baby does, apparently. Apparently babies just sit there and watch TV all day. But this is something that a lot of bullshitterglots peddle. They sell this idea that you can learn a language, all you gotta do is just immerse, bitch. Immerse in it. Soak it up. Get that shit up in your nostrils. And then I'll have people come to my comment section and they will say shit like, I know about X person who learned Japanese just via watching anime. And you can imagine how much this annoys me, okay? Now, first up, there's a billion, questions that I would have. One, were they a child when they started? When did they start? Do they have anyone in their family that speaks Japanese? Did they study Japanese prior as an adult? You know, they tried years and years of study and it failed, so then they went and watched TV and voila, they suddenly made progress. Or was there other things that happened, or was it just simply them just saying, I watched anime and you didn't inquire? Now, this is something that persists and continues to live on, but today I want to show that this is complete bullshit. Now, can you learn a language just via watching TV? Well, you probably could, depending on the language and given enough time. Is it the smart thing to do? Absolutely batshit no. And I'm pretty sure even the ALG, the most fundamentalist of ALG, would agree that this is a stupid idea. You should not try to learn a language via just incomprehensible input. In fact, I make this joke all the time on this channel that one day I'm going to learn North Korean by just watching fucking North Korean propaganda. Okay, it's a joke. At the same time, if you're willing to dish up the money, I might try it out. Wink, wink. But after I discovered this blog post, I seriously would reconsider that, okay? So we're going to look at a blog post from a language experimenter. Someone who decided to try this idea out. And you could see clearly that this was someone who believed in it. They weren't trying to debunk it. They believed you could do it. And they decided to do it for Chinese. They committed to watching 2,000 hours of Chinese, okay? Incomprehensible input to learn Chinese. And then at the 2,000 hour mark, they made a video showing where they were at that point. And they called it the TV method. Now, this is the blog post in question. Now, this blog is from 2011. This is around the time maybe about a year after I started learning Esperanto, okay? Since then, I've learned Esperanto and I've learned, Chinese to an intermediate level. I've done freaking, Spanish. I've played around with a lot of languages, okay? Now, the reason I point that out is because around 2012, this blog, I think, died. 2013, he launched another vlog which no longer exists. If I click on it, it's dead. It doesn't exist. So his experiment, some point after 2011, died. What happened after 2011? That was when he dropped his first video. The very first time he ever tried to speak and have a conversation in Chinese. Okay, before we get into that video, and I bet you're very curious, we're just going to read a little bit from the man himself. Why all the drama? As detailed in my previous post, after trying several different methods to learn Chinese spread out over a millennia, I settled on and stuck with the TV method. So, he's actually tried to study Chinese before. This is not even from absolute zero, but he's tried. And he's deemed himself to have failed, okay? That's right, I stuck with something. Even without having any evidence of whether it would work or not, I enjoyed it and kept going. I made a commitment to watch 2,000 hours of Chinese. I never set any expectations for what I might achieve in 2,000 hours, so I was certainly not disappointed. One reason for taking up the challenge was just to show that it can be done. Yes, you can learn a language just by watching TV. In fact, I still am. I have a ways to go before I get to understanding 100%, and I'll let you know when I get there. In the meantime, I'm slowly accumulating more hours watching TV in Chinese. Okay, now let's have a look at some of the quotes he's got along the right-hand side. The biggest joke in language learning is grammar. To understand what a word means, you have to observe the circumstances in which it is used. Words have to grow gradually, experience by experience, and the mechanism of growing in each experience is wondering. And this last quote is actually from the founder of ALG, but even ALG would not propose incomprehensible input, okay? They're not that stupid. They say you have to have comprehensible input, at least 90% understandability in order for you to progress. So he's taken some quotes from these. He doesn't like grammar. He likes the idea of words growing in your mind, and he's taken it to the extreme of, I'm going to watch Chinese TV for 2,000 hours. well, let's go check out a recording. So, this is the video in question. This is the first ever attempt to speak Chinese. After a 2,000-hour silence period, Keith finally opens his big mouth and tries speaking Chinese in a conversation. Now, before we watch this, I do want to stress that this is not ALG, okay? This is the TV method, the baby method, the incomprehensible input method, okay? So let's not go down in the comment section and think we're shitting on ALG over here, because that's not what we're doing. We're going to be having a look at what you can achieve with 2,000 hours of Chinese TV. Oh, I forgot to mention, this guy also speaks Japanese, okay? So there should be a little bit of a help there. Okay, so we're going to start from this point. I will real-time translate for you what's said. We're not going to go through the whole video. You're not going to need it. I'm translating because there's no subtitles. And everything before this is just them struggling with Skype. We've all been there. We don't need to do a react to that.
我看看。
I see.
OK， 你学习中文2年了。
Okay, so you've studied Chinese for 2 years.
更在我会看你。
I can see you now.
你现在能看到我了，对吧
You can see me now, right?
对，
Yes.
？OK。你昨天告诉我，你要在中午的时候回到家里，然后你下午还要再去上班吗？
Okay, so this sentence doesn't follow standard English grammar, so I'm going to try and translate this. So he goes, yesterday I told you, yesterday you told me you were going home around noon, and then you would go to work in the afternoon.
请你再说。
Please say that again.
昨天
Yesterday,
你
you,
在 Skype 上面
on Skype,
和我
with me,
说，
said,
你今天中午
today in,
午饭的时间
so today at noon, and then he changed his mind. Today while having lunch,
回家里，
we'll return home.
然
对了，
后和我
对了，
And
聊
then,
天。那你的意
speak
思
with
是
me.
你今天要工作吗？
so your meaning is that today you have work.
对呀，对。
Yes.
你做什么工作啊？
What type of work do you do?
只是我不会说，
I can't say.
我不知道怎么说。
I don't know how to say.
哦，没关系。
No problem.
我很奇怪的是，你的中文的语音非常好。
It's very strange that your Chinese pronunciation is really good. Now, this is coming from a native, but I do need to point out with Chinese speakers, they will compliment you on your Chinese, no matter how bad it sounds, okay? So this is not really an indication. Now, if you want to know how good his Chinese pronunciation is, it's not bad, actually. It's not bad. But I'll be honest, I've heard HSK1 speakers sound just as good or better than him, okay? So most of his words do sound really on point, but then there's some weird oddities.
非常标准，
Very
谢谢。
standard. Thank you.
听起来就像你听起来就像你在中国生活过一样。你在
So he's saying it sounds like you've studied, and then he changed his mind. It sounds like you've lived in you've lived in China or something like that.
中国生活过吗？
So you've lived in China.
不好意思，我不明白了。
Sorry, I don't understand now.
没关系。
No problem.
你在中国生活过吗？
Have you lived in China before?
不在中国，
I'm not in China.
我没去过中国。
I haven't gone to China before.
我明白了，你是说你没去过中国？
So he's saying, I understand. What you wanted to say is, I haven't been to China before. He was just correcting him.
对呀，
Yes.
我没去过中国。
Yes, I haven't
Wow.
gone to China before.
如果这样的话，你的中文真的是 非常好了。
Okay, so you can see he's slowing down, he's adding lots of breaks, but he's saying if that's the case, then your spoken Chinese is really good.
谢谢你。
Thank you.
你之前生活在美国？
And he's saying, you lived in America before.
现
你
在我
之前生活
是
在
日本，我住在日本。
So he's saying, now I'm in Erebon. I don't know where that is. Maybe it's a place.
嗨，
And then for some reason it says hi, which is, I believe, Japanese. And then some awkward silence.
你在家里吗？
Are you at home?
对，
Yes.
我在家里，
Yes, I'm at home.
我在多伦多。
So he's in Dorlundor. Dorlundor. Where is that? Is that Toronto? I think it's Toronto. Not too sure.
加拿大的
加拿大。
一个城市，
Okay, so it's a city in Canada.
多伦多。
I'm now really
Toronto.
curious. Oh, yes, I got it right.
哦。トロント。
I'm not sure what he was trying to do with Toronto then. I think he just he almost Japified the word Toronto. I'm not sure.
中国人在。
He said Chinese people at. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stop here. I'll put a link to this video down in the description for those who do want to go through it. It's basically, I get the feeling it's just going to be this all the way through because I can already judge his level. Basically, his level is, I would say, HSK1 with good pronunciation. And the interesting thing here is that he has not acquired the grammar of the language. His grammar is actually very English. So he hasn't internalized the Chinese grammar. I can see that. There's a few little points where he seems to have acquired very small segments like to guo, which is have gone to before. Like he's acquired that, or 怎么说, how to say. But everything else, even 怎么说, it kind of follows English. But like everything else is just, it's English, just with Chinese skin. Pretty much. So I think this pretty much definitively proves that trying to watch TV for 2,000 hours to learn a language which is far removed from your own, even when you speak another language that's similar, say, well, it's not similar, but Japanese, that's had an influence from Chinese, is probably the worst way to learn a language. Does that mean you can't do it? Well, maybe if he did this for another 10 years, he'd be at my level. I don't know. Maybe he is maybe he's way beyond me because there is no evidence that he continued or where the guy's at. But I do thank him for doing this experiment. This was fucking fascinating. And if you're someone who loves experiments like me, it is good to see this. The fact that he believed that this would work makes it even so much better. Because then you know that he went into this not to kind of debunk it. He didn't have, that wasn't his purpose, but he did follow through and do what he said he would do. And I do appreciate him for that. However, this, I think, definitively proves you should not try to learn Chinese like this. You would reach this level of Chinese in probably 20 hours of dedicated study. Okay, maybe not quite as good accent, but you would get to that level and understand that. So, his understanding is not even that good. Which, yeah, I don't even know how he did 2,000 hours, but I figured I'd share this all with you guys. I found it fucking fascinating. Let me know down in the comments section. I did real-time translate. Might have made some simple mistakes here and there because, I'm swapping between English, Chinese, whatever. And I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure you sub. Otherwise, I'll force you to watch 2,000 hours worth of my videos.